Good morning. Good morning. This is Antoine, the Melodic Investor. I just want to come on and give you guys some quick tips on buying your first or next real estate investment. Um, for those of you who don't know, I've been in the industry almost 20 years, and I did 10 years on the multifamily side, and then almost 10 years now, 10 years now on the commercial side as well. And this is just all things real estate. So I wanted to give you guys some quick tips on buying what you can look for when you buy your first property or next property. Please like and subscribe. I would love to grow this channel, trying to create some positive energy out there and encourage people. And frankly, just to give people what I didn't have when I was trying to get into this business. So let's talk about it. So one of the things that I would look for, or one of the things that I look for when I buy property, is I want it to be in an area that is conveniently located, right? That's the obvious thing, right? But having a young family myself, one of the things that you're always doing, you're constantly at a grocery store or a Target or a Walmart or something of that nature. So I want my properties to be very close or conveniently located, so that people don't have to go very far to get to those things. Like your gas stations and, your convenient shops like your CVS's and Walgreens and nature, things like that. Hospitals, you want all of that to be relatively close if you can. In the industry, we call it a buy box, or, understanding your market or things of that nature. So I always like to I feel like the grocery store is key. If you can get near a grocery store, generally a grocery store will have all of those other things around it, right? Another thing you want to check out is school districts. School districts matter. Now, just know this: if you're getting into a school district, or if you're buying a property because of the school district, you're probably going to pay a little bit more than you would in a place that maybe doesn't have such a good school district. However, you'll probably stay occupied longer, and you'll probably be very competitive on the rent side of things. So you could probably market your property a little bit higher and still be able to achieve that rent. One of the things that I look for also is, depending on the type of property. So we have classes of properties in the industry. Like, you have a class A, which is usually like the best part of town, the best schools, the best neighborhoods, everything you can think of, whatever you think of as the best, usually in a class A. Class B is maybe a tier below that, right? So you got to think of your area that's relative. It's still good. It's just not like the high-end luxury, but still a good area to live in, maybe raise a family, still a decent, great schools. It's still at, we'll call it white collar-y area. And then you got your class C, which now you're getting into more probably the blue collar area. Not that blue collars can't be in the B area, because you'll see that as well. B's have blues and white collar jobs in that area. Once you move into C, it's C is, in my opinion, can be a very great opportunity, because once the A's and B's get overpriced, well, the only place to go is to the C, because all of those bigger investor companies tend to go to those areas and start to build them up. And what I mean by that is, the word we call gentrification, where they come into an area that's maybe less popular or less trendy, and they start to put their fancy little shops or whatnot in there. So that's C's aren't bad at all. You could still do very well, and to be honest with you, you can buy it at a reasonable price. Now, everything's relative these days, because we know interest rates are just a little bit high, and everything's higher than what it normally should be. Not shouldn't say should, but normally what it would be. So, and then you have your class D, which a lot of people will say don't go to D, run from a D class area. That being said, I would say it depends on your skill set. So if you're a person who is in the industry, and by that I mean like in the management side of things, and you feel like you could manage the D class properties very well, then I would say go for it. It could be a good entry point. That being said, if you are not used to that environment and that type of area, I'd rather you not go there as your first property, just because you're probably going to be dealing with a class of tenant that's a little bit of a challenge and a little bit different, just in terms of some of the economic things that you would deal with. Like, when you have a property in a less fortunate area, you're going to deal with probably higher aged receivables, which just means people aren't being able to pay. So you're going to have some delinquencies. You could deal with evictions and all. Not to say that you couldn't in the other classes, because you definitely can. But you're more likely to deal with it in more of your C's and D's. So you just got to know what you got to stomach for and what you could tolerate. But honestly, for your first property, I would love to see someone get into maybe a B and C area. That would be my recommendation, just because the price point is good. It hasn't totally like went through its cycle of being really, really expensive. So I would definitely look into that. The other thing I would check out is, okay, so here's a little hack that I think about, or that I do when I buy property. I look at what stores are nearby, because that's going to tell you the type of consumer that they're going after. Because a lot of companies will only invest in areas that they know they've done their research on the demographics. So they know who's shopping there, how much money they make on average, cost of homes, cost of real estate in the area. So they have a good idea of the clientele that's going to be shopping at the store. So what I mean by that, let's just get black and white and honest here. If you're in an area that has a lot of liquor stores, well, unfortunately, the sad truth of that, we all know what comes with that. Okay, you're gonna get a lot more traffic, a lot more unwanted foot traffic, things of that nature, versus being in an area that has a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's. I know we don't like that, but it's the truth. In those areas, you're going to deal with a lot less headache as it relates to managing your first rental property. If you're near a Target versus being even near a Walmart, for whatever reason, there's a demographic there that is different. If you are in a area that has, Dollar General or Dollar Tree or Family Dollar, I've seen some Dollar Trees in some really nice areas. I've seen Dollar Trees in not so nice areas. So you just really got to pay attention to that. But in my opinion, stores that you can't go wrong, not to say it's foolproof and you'll never have to deal with an eviction, because this is not true. My property is near a Whole Foods, and I've had to deal with that. So it's not to say it doesn't happen, but you're less likely to have it happen. Look for your Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Targets, Kroger, those trusted brands. And if you're in the Southeast, Publix, if you're in Pacific Northwest, a lot of Fred Meyers, those are like, they establish the area, they anchor the area. In real estate, we have a term called anchor. Like, anchor tenants, they like make the deal work, meaning like their occupancy in the building, or whatever, their occupancy like makes the building work. You need them there. So that's how I think about those stores. you know, like your Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Targets, Kroger, you know, those places anchor neighborhoods and they keep it thriving, right? And when they leave, or if they close up, you'll see the neighborhood will start to decline quick too. So if you want your first property, look to be within a mile and a half, 2 miles away from those stores, because when it comes to advertising, when you advertising your listing and all that to try and get your place filled, those are things you can include in there, you know. And if it's walkable, that's even better yet. And if it's, you know, one of the things we saw during the pandemic, especially with remote workers, everyone was allowed to live far away. Well, now we have a lot of these companies that are asking their employees to come into the office, which is causing a little bit of a revolt, but people need a place to live now. So now may be a good time to, if you have the resources, or if you could do an owner occupied, secure a property that's closer in. So that's just, and another thing you want to look at too is the rents, right? An easy way to look at your area average rents is to go to apartments.com and look in the area that you're looking, that your property you're looking at is in. Craigslist, Rent-O-Meter. I don't get any paid advertisement for them. I'm just being honest and letting you know what tools we use in the industry. Rent-O-Meter, or if you want to just do it, put some sweat equity in and do it the easy way where you don't have to pay for anything, call your apartments nearby, call listings that you see how much they're advertising, and see if they've been able to achieve that, and then that'll give you your answer. But just wanted to make this video. Hopefully this is helpful enough to at least get you started and get you thinking about what you need to be looking at for areas that you're looking to invest in. Good luck. Again, continue to like, subscribe, support this channel, and hope you guys have a great Friday. Take care. Bye.